Good afternoon. It's about 2:30 on a Saturday afternoon. Most of the heavy rain has stopped. We're in Wendell, Massachusetts on the New England Trail. We're going to be hiking about 3 miles to the Wendell Shelter. Hopefully find a spot there overnight, and then we'll hike back out here next morning. Well, it didn't take very long to find something interesting on the trail. There's obviously some kind of a circular brick foundation here, maybe an opening in the center, and then there's that machinery on the outside. Have to figure out what this is.
We'll explore more of this area tomorrow.
At this point, I can say with complete confidence that we are looking at the ruins of a mill. Pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I'm very impressed with the dams and structures there, and the Mormon Hollow Brook in general. Going to be about 2.5 to 2 3/4 miles to the Wendell Shelter, where we'll spend the night. Going to try to get in before dark. According to AllTrails, we're going to gain about 700 feet in the next mile or so as we leave the Mormon Brook behind. As you can see, today's rain has turned this old road into a stream bed. We're only about halfway up the first hill, but we are leaving behind the unimproved woods road / stream for a pretty decent gravel road for the time being. Well, even though we're only on this road for a short stretch, you can see there's definitely some foundations. Here's the second one. Looks like we've reached the summit, about 1,175 feet. From here it's downhill most of the way to the shelter. We're about 2.5 miles into the hike. On our left is a junction of the Moose Tracks Trail. The sun is set, it's 4:45. We're making the final push up the hill to the shelter. Whew. That does it, about 4 miles, maybe 4.5 to Wendell Shelter. I think I'm going to stay here tonight so I don't have to set up my tent. Okay, tonight, classic marinara with pasta sauce. Probably in about a half an hour, because it takes 20 minutes to rehydrate. A couple weeks ago I mentioned in the video on the Monadnock Trail that it's important to get out even though it's going to rain, and today was one of those days where I really didn't know if that was going to be true or not. This morning we're having oatmeal from Good to Go. Today we're going to hike back to the car and probably drop the pack and then do the road walk section of 15 and the beginning of 16, get that knocked out so that we come up here one more time. We'll do a 3-day, 2-night backpacking. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss that trip. And that'll be my final episode of the New England Trail. This is probably the 21st video on the trail, so check out the playlist too. Looking at the notes from the spreadsheet I did yesterday, my base weight was 12.58 pounds and my full pack weight was 17.6 pounds. It has oats and quinoa, chai, and hemp parts. Those last three are things I don't normally have in my oatmeal. Maybe that's why it tastes so different. Actually, I like the Quaker Instant oatmeal better than this one. Sorry, Good to Go. If you did want to set up your tent, looks like there's maybe one, possibly 2 spots here, and it's not too far from the shelter. It's just down by the brook. At this point, we've entered the Hidden Valley Memorial Forest, which is in the middle of Wendell State Forest. And on our right here is the Lynn's Falls Trail. We checked that out last time, but it's such a short trip and there's so much rain, we're gonna just go take a quick walk up there and see how it's flowing today. Well, yeah, it definitely looks like Lynn's Falls is flowing pretty good. We've come to an old road here, and the M&M takes a right, but to the left is Jerusalem Hill, just under 1,000 feet. There's supposed to be a nice view from there, and it's about a half a mile from here, so we're gonna give it a shot, see what happens. Well, the road hasn't seen much maintenance in the days. Definitely got that look, stone walls on both sides. We found a cellar hole here at the top of Jerusalem Hill, and there's stone walls all over the place, so this was probably some kind of a homestead. It's definitely interesting how this foundation is L-shaped. You can't really tell too well with all the down trees. Like we are right here where that dot is where the stone foundation is, and we got another couple tenths of a mile to 2 to 3 tenths of a mile to get to the top of Jerusalem Hill. trail doesn't actually go to the summit of Jerusalem Hill, but the trail is no longer marked, although I think I can see a faint path, and following AllTrails, I don't think I'm going to get lost. I'm going to continue this as a loop and see how it goes. So we make our way back around the loop. You can see off in the distance Jerusalem Hill, which we're just coming off of. We're going to be climbing a ridge and then rejoining the M&M a few tenths of a mile from where we left it. As you follow the cliffs, it's pretty easy to miss the trail. I started heading down some sketchy stuff. Obviously there's some herd paths up here. We're almost out of Jerusalem Hill, the trail of the loop here. I will say that it's easy to lose track of where you're going. The trails are not marked well, but it's definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. All right, we just came out of there, which is pretty much virtually unmarked, so that would be hard to find. And if we continue down here, we'll rejoin the M&M where we left it, about 2/10 of a mile from here. We've now joined Jerusalem Road, and we're heading up that hill on our left. That was a very short stretch of Jerusalem Road. Got some great cliffs here, and the M&M takes off and climbs around them. Well, that was a pretty steep one when I went down that one last night. I bet it's about the point which I put away the camera. You tell me why there would be a bear in the hole there. Wondering if a bear brought it here? I have no idea. The trail goes to the right, but the lookout's to the left. Let's go see what it looks like. Wow, that is nice. According to Peak Finder, that tall one over there is Dry Hill. Well, definitely don't skip out on the lookout. It's pretty good. Let's go see if we can find the other one. The second lookout is not labeled, but there's a 90-degree left here. We're going to take it.
After returning to the car and lightening my load, I began the road walk portion of section 15. Farley Bridge was built in 1889 by the Phoenix Bridge Company in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. It's a pin-connected through truss bridge spanning 123 feet across the Millers River.
Look at this sign, it's pretty cool. This is where we'll start next time, and the plan is to go all the way up to Section 9, Royalston Falls, and that's going to be a 3-day, 2-night, overnight backpacking trip. If all goes well, I'll do that before the end of the year. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please like, subscribe, share. I'll see you out here in the next one.